Hey, it's your girl Barbie J. Welcome to my channel. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Barbie J here with a recap and review of Tyler Perry's other comedy drama, Zatima, Season 3, Episode 20, To Die For. And y'all know this is the season finale. This is the Season 3 finale. So I don't know when they're coming back, but right now we are ending with this banger, or should I say this cliffhanger, because we don't know what happened to Fatima and we are hoping she's okay. So the synopsis for this episode reads, Fatima attempts to keep the peace at Gladys's funeral. She does try to do that. Zach struggles with his complex emotions about his mom. He was experiencing that. And Jeremiah's troubles bring danger to Zach and Fatima's doorstep. And he sure enough did that fool. Anywho, before we get started, if you're new here or if you're returning and have not subscribed to my channel as of yet, why not take a chance right now and subscribe to this channel? Hit that subscribe button, then hit the notification button and select all. It'll let you know every time I upload any new content to this channel. Then I ask that you hit the like button, that's the thumbs up button. Write a comment and join the conversation. Give us your 2 cents and then share, because sharing is caring. So this episode starts off how the last one ended, with Zach realizing that's Leslie in the bed and not Fatima, because Fatima said, "What the F is going on here?" And Zach jumps up and say, "I thought it was you." And then she tells Leslie, "Get the F out of her house before she kill her." And she go running out of here, talking, I'm sorry, running down the daggone steps, left a shoe half naked, Zach behind a tree, hiding in a plant and stuff. And Fatima said, "How did you not know that wasn't me?" And he's like, "Well, she had a cake." And he said, "Nope, see, you lying. Because Fatima got a bigger behind than Leslie. Is a much bigger behind. And Zach should have known it, all that time." And then he had the nerve to say, "Oh, as soon as I found out it wasn't you, I stopped." No, you stopped when you heard, "What the F?" That's when you stopped, Zach. So stop it. And not even that, somebody else mentioned he pulls into the driveway and Fatima's car is not there. So how did you not know that Fatima wasn't home? And then there's the mystery of, how did she get into the house? Did Fatima not move that spare key? Was the spare key still there? I know they didn't run and make a copy of it. Did she get the spare key back? You know what I mean? Oh, but they right about one thing. Old Fatima would have shot that place up. And she told Zach, including you, and I ain't lying, because he should know her body. He should know her scent. He should know her curves and everything else. And he didn't. And even if Leslie had on the same perfume as Fatima's, he should have known. But what I don't like is that they end this episode and they don't give us answers to all of these questions. And this is just the beginning. Well, who left the rose petals? Who left the note? How did Leslie know that Fatima had set that up if Fatima had set it up? How did she get in the house? These are so many unanswered questions. So now it's the next day. We're at the funeral, and the preacher's preaching his sermon. Then he asks the choir to get up and sing, "Pass Me Not, O Gentle Savior." And as they're singing, they're showing the congregation. I don't see any Danny. Somebody said they saw Danny. Danny is not there in the congregation. And I'm looking at the beautiful picture that they have of Zach's mother. And I'm asking myself, when was she sober enough to take such a lovely picture with that fly navy blue hat on and everything else? I said, maybe that's supposed to be a picture of her when she was young and clean. But from what we know, she was always on drugs. So I was just wondering. So now back to the choir singing. And who comes into the church with a white shirt on, black slacks, white sneakers, a black hat, and a clean white bandage around their head, call themselves marching down the aisle, is Jeremiah. And Fatima sees him and she just like rolls her eyes. And as he walks down the aisle, everybody looking him up and down because his shirt is half in, half out, all this stuff. And he gonna tell Zach to move over. Zach's like, "Man, sit down. I ain't doing this today." And he goes and sits down. I want to see my mama. Why y'all got the casket closed? I want to see it. And Fatima trying to calm him down. And she's like, come on, Jeremiah, let's go outside and talk. And he's like, I ain't going nowhere. And she had grabbed his face and said, look, we ain't doing this today. And Zach said, leave him alone because he high. You know, Zach don't want to deal with it. So Fatima said, look, I got this. I'm just going to take him outside. She said, you take him outside and he do something, put his hands on you, all bets are off. Like, he's like, I'm going to kill him this time for real, you know. So Fatima asks Nathan and Tony to come with her. And Nathan's like, what? What you want me to do? But then they show Angela. Angela was stupid this episode. I'm sorry, y'all. She gonna tell Bryce, go over there and help him. Go. What's Bryce gonna do? If his own friends ain't helping him, what Bryce gonna do? Bryce don't know that man to be getting involved in that. Stop being stupid, Angela. So Nathan and Tony gets Jeremiah outside, and then Fatima comes out there and she tries to talk to him. And he's like, y'all done put me out the church and I can't see my mama. She's like, we're not doing that. We're just trying to give you a break. You know, we care about you. Why are you being so nice to me? She said, I care about you, Jeremiah. I do. She said, we just want to go in there and honor your mother the right way, right? Let's do that. And Nathan kept saying stupid stuff that she kept saying, Nathan, you're not helping. Just go back inside, you know, because Nathan's being dumb or whatever. So Angela comes out and tells Fatima she's up next to sing. So they bring him back inside of the church to sit down and be calm. So Fatima goes up there to sing with the choir, How Great Thou Art. She sounded beautiful. She looked lovely. But I'm going to say this, y'all, and some of y'all going to hate me for it. I don't care, okay? I really don't care. But Krista Renee, girl, I love you. Fatima, I love you. But guess what? That dress is not a funeral dress, okay? Your girls came dressed appropriately. Angela, down past the knee. Belinda, down past the knee. And they the ones who usually look slutty. You know what I mean? They the ones that look slutty. Now you got on a short thing. That dress is almost up the back of your thighs. Girl, you got big legs. You can't be wearing no dress like that. That's not a party or function. It's a funeral. You're in a church, honey. The dress was too short. I'm just telling you, the front might have looked almost appropriate, but when you turned around and see that backside with them thighs, girl, sorry, inappropriate. Let me tell y'all, one time Patti LaBelle came to our church, my church in Harlem, a very historical, prestigious church, Abyssinian Baptist Church. And Patti LaBelle was up in the pulpit singing a song. And the next Sunday, our pastor was like, Patty, no, she was wrong being up in here with that short dress on like that. He called her out on it because there is a certain way to dress for certain occasions. Anywho, now the song is over and the pastor says, we will now have words of expression from one of the sons. And Jeremiah started, what do you mean one of the sons? I want to speak too. I got something to say about my mama. Zach is like, I can't do this. He said, go ahead. I want to hear what he got to say. And he gets up there and makes a fool of himself. But the pastor was like, no, we cannot let him talk. He is the devil. He's like, I'm a devil. You the devil. Pastor didn't want him to get up there in his pulpit high. He wasn't going to allow it. And I don't blame him. And he went off and Jeremiah started saying negative things about the pastor, accusing him of sleeping with his mama and all kind of stuff. And the pastor was like, this funeral is over. It's over. And then Jeremiah said, well, you know, there was this dance that we used to do, me and Zach, for my mama. Here, I'll show you now. And he went across the front of the church with his shoulders bouncing up and down. And what we found out later is that the two actors, Amir and Cameron, which is Nathan and Jeremiah, they said everybody was laughing so much they couldn't even put the cameras on them. And if y'all look closely, when Jeremiah does that dance, look at Fatima's arm. It looks like she's behind Zach laughing because her arm is kind of like moving up and down. Check it out. And I'm like, oh my God, they must have did that scene so many times till it was ridiculous. So now we at the repass at Zach and Fatima's house, and Angela's saying something dumb again, telling Bryce to go upstairs and check on Zach. He's like, I don't think he wants to see me. You're his friend. Go ahead. So Bryce asked Fatima how's Zach, and she said, he's fine. He said, see, Angela, I told you. She said, well, you know, I was telling him to go upstairs. And Fatima's like, why would you tell him to do that, Angela? You know Zach don't want to see him and be bothered with him. She's like, I was just trying to help. No, you was being stupid again, Angela. Then Preston came over and asked how he was doing, and she said she was go upstairs and check on him. So she goes upstairs to check on Zach, and Zach is feeling numb and everything, but he's admitting that he doesn't feel bad. Like it's almost like a relief, like a weight lifted off of him. And he's like, is that wrong? And then Fatima suggested maybe he needs to talk to Dr. Reed. She said, do you want me to call? He said, no, I'll talk to him on Monday. So Fatima tells Zach that she invited his friends. She know they a little wild, but they all downstairs. And then he thanked her for loving him. Meanwhile, downstairs, Preston is standing there minding his business when Deja comes in. She starts flirting with him, asking him if he's a real cowboy. Does he really ride horses? And how she hasn't ridden a horse in a long time. And maybe she can this and maybe this. And at a repass, y'all, that she probably wasn't invited to. So she finally gave him her phone number. And at this point, that's when Zach came downstairs. And Preston went over to him. And Zach thanked him for coming. And I think Preston is a good friend. I know Fatima and Zach were upstairs talking about him. But you know what? Preston is a good damn friend. He's a friend that you would want to have in your life, if you ask me. Put it down in the comment section what y'all think about that scene. So then Zach goes over to greet Connie, and she's telling him how wonderful person he is and how he's grown and how she's so proud of him and that he got this bomb-ass chick with him, talking about Fatima. Zach said, yeah, I do. And then Fatima came over and kissed him. And Connie let her know that she has a lot of respect for them and their relationship. And she hopes that one day she and Fatima can be cool in her world. And Fatima was kind of scrunching up her face like, nah, girl, that ain't even going to happen. And Connie was like, I get it, I get it. But she said, I've always loved Zach. He's my fam. You know what I mean? That's when Tony and Nathan came over, and Tony decided that he wanted to say something, and he's letting Zach know why everybody's there, because we all love him and care about him, and that at times they may seem dysfunctional, but this is their messy, crazy, dysfunctional family. And I was like, oh, that was so nice. Then Nathan said, I want to say something. I want to say something. Nathan's like, oh, hell nah. And he's like, nah, for real, man. We love you, bro. We love you. So now we see Angela and Belinda looking on. And Angela's like, so you really with Nathan? Her judgmental self. You could see on her face she being judgmental. And Belinda said, I know you're not judging nobody with that little whorehouse you running over there. I said, oh, no, she didn't call her out. So while they're talking, Belinda decides to call Connie a biatch, saying she's just trying to get in close so she can F Zach. And Angela tells her, I don't think so. I think she's sincere and happy for them both. But Belinda don't want to believe it. Y'all know how she is anyway, because she's the one who's trying to get in close so she could F Zach. So Belinda said, you know Fatima ain't going for that. She watching that biatch with both of her side eyes, and they up here laughing, and chuckling and everything. Then Angela had the nerve to say, this is why I didn't want you here, because you're going to make me messy like you. And I was like, you know how to be messy all by yourself, Angela. So now at this moment, Jeremiah runs into Zach and Fatima's house, and he grabs Zach and says, I need to go. And he's like, get off of me. And Zach says, what's wrong with you? Then all of a sudden, four guys just open the door and walk right into the house. And I said, see, this is why they need to learn how to lock their daggone doors. That's probably how Leslie got her crazy behind inside. You know what I mean? Anyway, so they asked where that Igga at. And Zach is like, who the F are y'all? And Big Ripple said, where the F that Igga at? And Zach is like, y'all gonna have to get the F out of my house. And he said, F your house. And all of a sudden, Zach turns and he looks at Fatima, who puts her hand on her stomach as a sign, basically saying, choose your family, choose me and this baby before you get into a fight. So Zach turns back around and he says, gentlemen, I'm going to need y'all to leave, please. And Tony taking off his jacket and says, hey, yo, y'all heard my man, Dreadlocks. And Nathan's like, yo, don't make him ask twice, big boy. You need to bounce, Igga. So Big Rippo says, okay, y'all, Igga's all right with me. I'm still going to F that Igga up. Let's roll. As soon as he's about to go out the door, here comes Jeremiah. And punch him in the back. And a big old brawl breaks out with Zach, Tony, Nathan, and Preston against Big Rippo and his three men. Why those other men didn't jump in? Where's Bryce? Where's all those men standing there in the suits? None of them jumped in to help at all. And then we see Fatima just standing there in the kitchen saying, "Oh my God, like, look at this breaking out." So we see Preston, he's supposed to be punching Rippo in his side. And Rippo pulls out a gun. Mind y'all now, look closely. Rippo's body's not even moving as Preston is supposedly punching him. I'm like, he ain't even moving him? What are you doing, Preston? And he shoots towards the kitchen where Jeremiah ran after hitting him. And Zach stops and looks toward the kitchen and he doesn't see Fatima. So some people are saying hopefully Jeremiah jumped in front of Fatima and blocked her from getting shot. That would be a way to make up for what he did. But the truth is, he still can't make up for what he did in the past because guess what? He brought them iggots to the house, as you want to put it. He brought those men to the house. He brought danger to Zach and Fatima's house. And so now that's how this episode ended. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about it down in the comment section. I thought it was an exciting episode. It was very entertaining and I thoroughly enjoyed it, especially with some of the funeral scene and the fighting scene. There was some action, you know what I mean? But then I wanted to tell y'all something that I noticed. I could tell that they filmed this scene several times because if you look and watch it closely while the fighting is going on, 1 minute Big Ripper's hat is on, the next minute his hat is off, the next minute is on, and then when he shoots the gun, it's off. So I'm like, how did your hat keep going on and off in the middle of the fight? You know what I mean? Anyhow, like I said, put it down in the comment section what y'all thought about this season finale. This is the season finale for season 3. And I believe they have finished filming season 4, but we don't know when it's coming back. So it might be in the summertime. Who knows? It might be in the fall. So I will see you all in the next video. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, write a comment, and share the video. It's your girl Barbie J saying peace.